G'day folks, another gold prospector here. With gold hitting over 5,000 Australian dollars per ounce at the time of recording, more and more people are hitting the goldfield. Today, I'm going to share with you some of the things to keep you ahead of the game, in front of the crowds, and hopefully we get some gold along the way. Stick with me. I've just been down there and back again. I lost an hour. But these are the things you're going to have to do to find places that people don't go. I couldn't get access to where I wanted to be. I got charged by a samba deer, pooed my pants, and came back to the car. All right, on to the next spot. Well, as you can see, folks, I've traded the gators in for the waders, and I've gone from land to water. Reason being, well, brings up my first point, my first tip. Make sure you're dynamic. If you have to change your mind and go somewhere else because whatever million reasons there could be, you've got to be able to do it. So this morning, obviously, couldn't get down to that first spot with the detector, chased by a deer, moved to the next spot. Graders were doing road works. The road was closed. I couldn't get down that track. I then had to drive a long, long way around to get back out of there. I lost a lot of time. It's midday now, and I've just done my first pan. I'm in a spot I've never been to before. It's been awful. There's been no bedrock. It's sand. It's horrible. But you've got to be able to do this. Let me spin you around and show you where I am, and then I'll explain the next little secret. So this is a creek I've never been to before. Lots of black heavies and stuff in here, but it's all like mud and sand and silt, even down on the bedrock. I've just yabby pumped that bedrock out just there for a whole bunch of zero. The pan's empty. There's no gold in it. So that also brings me to, once you find an area you want to work or you want to look for gold, get to know your area. Really get to know it. Understand how the creeks work. Understand how, if you're detecting, how the layout works there. But understand an area instead of jumping all over the place. Jumping all over the place, you're going to have lots of disappointing days. I know this area well. I've been here a lot and I still have empty pans. So going to a spot where you can get familiar is going to definitely help you in the long run. I'm now going to trek back to the car and go to a spot that I am familiar with so we can get some gold for this episode. Because currently there's dots of zero, nothing gold. But we're going to change that, guaranteed. See you soon. Now I'm in an area I am familiar with, sort of. I haven't actually been to this part, but yeah, it's a creek I know. I've just cleaned out that sort of pretty average crevice, but it was a crevice. And we are on the board, thank goodness. Let me show you. Couple of nice chunky bits and a bit of micro. Which brings me to the next tip that I've got for beating people to gold in this crazy time where the gold's so high priced. Do the legwork. If you walk further than everyone else, you're going to get to ground that no one else has been to in a long time. That's all I'm going to say about it. If you put in the yards and end up wet and sweaty like this, you deserve it. All right. Next crevice. I've got a bit of overburden to clean out here. All these, but there is another crevice in there, so I'm going to move that because of that pan with chunkies in it. I'm going to move that, all this, and clean that out there. See you in a minute. This is the crevice just upstream from the last one, and I'm feeling a whole lot more confident about this one. There's a lot more material in there. There's some nice slabs in there that've got gaps in them with lots of material. I've only got to sort of here. I've cleaned out just that little section there, and I'm not even on the bottom yet. And this is what we managed. Not as big as the last hole, but that was the whole hole. Whole hole. Sound like Santa Claus for holes. So it's only small gold, but that's out of the overburden. So quite happy with that. I'm going to keep cleaning it out, and when I do, we'll pan it off together, and I will give you what I think is probably the biggest thing you can take away from today's show, as far as getting to gold before other people, or getting to places that have got better gold than other places. It's something I use all the time when I can, and yeah, stick around for it because I think it makes a big difference. So I didn't pan it off with you because I'm still not at the bottom. I'm still doing overburden. Well, some of it is at the bottom, this top half, just about there somewhere, right down to the bottom. I haven't yabby pumped it, just hand scooped it and fluffed it. But I've still got, right down here to do, so bear with me. Although it was a nice pan. Have a look what we got out of this. There's some good chunky bits in there. Nice. If it keeps going like this, it should be a good crevice. So we'll see. If I get this cleaned out in one pan, I'll pan it out for you so you can see what's in the pan, and I'll reveal that all important next clue. Okay guys, I have one very full pan sitting here, and this is all yabby pumped out from the bottom. So here's hoping, eh? Now, probably the best bit of advice I could give you to beat other people's spots or get ahead of the game is when you're doing your research. Now, I always bang on about research, but when you're doing your research, if you can find somewhere that mentions, gold was discovered in this spot or this area or this creek, it was worked for a little, but the miners left or diggers left for richer ground because it wasn't paying. You got to remember, back then, gold was a whole lot cheaper. Now that it's over 5,000 Australian dollars an ounce, that unpayable ground, or that not as payable ground, is worth a whole lot more money now, and it would be payable. So I don't look for the creeks or the gullies that say, 500 miners were here for 15 years, because they haven't left you much, to be honest. It's going to be pretty barren. But the gully or the creek that says, a handful of diggers were there for a couple of years and moved on, is going to have a lot more gold in it, generally speaking. Oh, I found anyway. I can see gold already in this. This is going to be a nice pan. So that's my pretty much number one tip for you. Oh, there's lots of gold in here. Oh, wow. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's pan it back. So I'll come and do it in front of the camera for you. Have a look at that. I'll get used to this thing one day. There we go. That is a cracking pan. Absolute beauty. I'll show you where it came from. We'll have a look, show you how well I cleaned it out. We'll go for a walk. Hopefully we don't spill our gold. Right, water's cleaned up there. You can see there's a bit of sediment sitting on there, but see how it drops off really deep in there. I ended up pulling out some of these huge boulders out of there that were buried. So it's a nice deep hole. I could keep going this way into the bank here, but it's just too much hard work with all this stuff in it. Mind you, for pans like that, like that's a full picker. I got my hands full. I'd pick it up for you, but yeah, that's a beauty of a pan. And that's because, 1, I know the area. 2, I did the legwork. 3, I can't say it's a gold field that didn't get worked very hard because this one got flogged. But anyway, it didn't get worked like normal gold fields. They only worked the actual creek here. They didn't work the banks as much as most places. So in my opinion, it's still shedding from the banks. That's why there's still gold in crevices like that. Yeah, so just little things that are going to get you ahead, and use the tools you've got, and be aware of things like yabby pumps and match crevice tools that are going to help you get into the crevices and so on. All right, I'm not done. I've got some more for you, so stick around. see if we can get some more gold. Alright, so I've moved up a couple of crevices and just shoveled and hand scooped, meat scooped out that one. Still got to pump it. Look at this. That's nice. Very nice. And look, to be honest, I'm being pretty lazy. You know, I could quite easily move all this stuff because it will keep going. There'll still be gold in the bottom of it. I can move all that stuff and keep going because there'll be gold in the bottom of it. I'm just doing the main flow because I'm being lazy. I'm being quick because it's getting late and I have one more thing I want to do on the way home with the gold monster. So I need to leave myself some time to do that. So I'm going to pump this puppy out. I'll show you what's at the bottom and then we're going to go give the monster a whirl, see if I can't conjure up a piece of gold with that thing. I'm trying to get you the best angle without any glare, show you how clean that is. And all jagged. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's crevice, 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 crevice. Drops down into a little step, into a V, crevice, crevice, and a crevice. Down into there as well. So I just gave that an almighty pump out. That's what we got. Very nice. I think that's a perfect way to finish panning for the day. I'm going to fill in my holes, pack up my stuff, walk back to the car, and we'll see you with the gold monster in hand for a quick session. Well, welcome back, guys. So I've got the monster out. For those of you who watch regularly, you might recognise this spot from when I got a nice piece of gold out of one of these little slits of bedrock sort of in the crack there. So I thought I could probably save myself some time and run the monster over this stuff. You know, it's what it's sort of made for. But I've got a target here. As you can hear, it's not a very good one, but it's not in the easiest spot to get to either. So it was ringing up a bit of both. So we'll just see. It's in this like gooey stuff. Oi, first scoop. Love that. Ugh. I don't love how delicious this stuff is. Oh, it's getting louder. It's in my hand. Sounds interesting. Might be just because it's wet. Oh, jeez. Gold monster nearly got wet. And that would be a disaster. You can see how much I've got in here, but it's all stuck together. It's not. It's not that, is it? Oh, lead shot. Kidding me? That's the first bit of lead I've ever got out of this creek, ever. Oh, as soon as I get the detector out, that'd be right. Oh, hopefully I get another target, guys. I'll put that lead shot in there, and I've got lots of bedrock to go, so I'll show you. There's all this all over the place. Oh, my phone's, my gimbal's doing all sorts of wonderful things. There we go. So I've got a fair bit here that I can work on. Run it over quickly just before I not shot off home. So, all right, hopefully we get another target. See you soon. Alrighty, guys, I've had a few hot rocks in amongst this stuff. I think it's just collecting heavies, which is great. But I do have this target here. Where is it? There it is. Which sounds a lot better than a hot rock, and it's also ringing up non-ferrous. I don't know where it is because there's, there's no material there. Let's have a find out, mate. I have a feeling this bedrock has got a crack in it. So let's. Well, there's not much material in here. Oh, I can see it. I don't even need to do this. It's gold. Whew. You beauty. I'll be coming back here. I'll give you a look. That is unreal. Here it comes. Little tiny flat bit. Flat as a tack, actually. But, geez, it's round. Oh, sort of round. Yeah, ripper. So there you go. That bedrock, it's really holding gold. I'll give you a bit of a look at how it sort of set up looks. As you can see up the creek here. Super steep, super fast. Outside bend, just smashing into this bedrock wall with these shelves. You can see they step down all the way. And the gold's obviously dropping out as it gets deeper down this hill into these cracks. So it's definitely worth some work here, that's for sure. It's holding. That's the second good bit I've got out of here without really trying too hard. So anyway, there we go. I'm likely to see you at home for a way up. Probably got a nice little way up there. Getting a bit late now. Another one for you that's going to give you a head start or an advantage over everybody else out there. Perseverance. If you can stick it out longer, do the hours, do the days, you're going to get more gold. It's just, you know, that's pretty simple algorithm there. But yeah, we'll recap when I get home. But hope you've learned something out of it. Anybody, everybody, whoever. Even if you haven't, at least I've got some gold for you to look at. All right, I'll see you at home, guys. Welcome back, guys. Here's a look at today's gold. Nice and chunky, that's for sure. Got that nice little flat bit out of the bedrock with the gold monster, and I'll just put a couple of bigger ones next to it there. All right, let's do a recap. First thing, be dynamic. Have plan A, B, C, D, all the ones you need. Get to know your area. If you focus on one spot, you'll be a lot better in that spot. Do your legwork. You walk further than everyone else, you're going to get more gold. Look for less worked areas. Find those places that weren't flogged by the old boys. And of course, perseverance. Let's get this stuff on the scales. Let's go with the little picker first. 0.12. I wonder what we're going to. Might have. I don't think we cracked a gram, but the gold's really chunky, so you can hear it. 0.859. That's a cracker. Considering did I sling some that far? Wow. Right. It's going to go up? No. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit that subscribe button, share it around, hit the like, leave me a comment. Hopefully you can see those numbers. This camera hates doing these numbers. Oh, look, I'm doing a YMCA impersonation. Catch you on the next one.